I say all the time, if you have more than 4 years experience, contact me and we could get you slotted to take our journeyman's test or get you in the CE program. But what if you have less than 4 years experience, including 0 experience? If that's the case, you are a good candidate for our apprenticeship or our CW program. Both of those programs are handled by our apprenticeship committee. If you're interested in applying to either of those programs, you need to go to rjatc.org. That stands for Richmond Joint Apprenticeship Training Committee .org. And you can learn more about them there. You can fill out an online application there. I always recommend go ahead and apply today. The process, especially to become an apprentice, can take some time. And be patient, and we'll get you through it. We'll get you in the house. The apprenticeship, to get in, you apply. You have to provide them with your high school transcripts, college transcripts if you have college transcripts, and then you take an aptitude test. The aptitude test is a test on reading and math. It is not a test on electrical knowledge and skills. If you get a qualifying score on the aptitude test, the next step is an interview. So after your aptitude test and your interview, if you are selected, you could be notified anytime after your interview. So it could be that next day, or it could be weeks, months later after the interview. From the time of application to the time of the interview is going to be at least 2 months. So, just be prepared for those kind of timelines. We generally start classes every August and every January. And there are always more qualified applicants than open positions. So don't take it personally if you aren't selected when you initially apply for the next either August or January class. We got a lot of members of our local, longtime members who, literally waited years to get in the apprenticeship, and they didn't have the option that is available to applicants now of working as a CW while they're waiting or trying to get in the apprenticeship. So we have more options available now than we used to. But once you're selected for the apprenticeship, you could start work. If you're not already working as a CW, you can start work as a period 1 apprentice right then, regardless of when your class starts. So if you were selected, say next month for the January class, you could start working as a period 1 apprentice right then, and then you would just start school in January. The wages are percentages of journeyman rate. So the first period 1 rate is 53%. So that's right now it's $17 and change, plus benefits. All our apprentices and CWs have free health insurance for them and their families, and retirement over and above their pay. An apprentice, typically within a year of being indentured, will get 3 raises. So you'll get an apprenticeship percentage raise roughly 6 months after you start, and then you'll get another percentage raise roughly 6 months after that. And then remember that apprentice wages are percentages of journeyman wage, so the journeyman typically get a raise annually. So at some point during that year, recently it's been March 1st, the journeyman will get a raise. So while your percentage will remain the same of journeyman rate, the journeyman rate went up, so your dollar amount hourly goes up as an apprentice. So the raises come quick is what I'm getting at. And within the first year, you'll generally have 3 raises, and then the raises are generally annual after that for the percentage raises, and then the across-the-board raises have it as well. So generally, after the first year, you have 2 raises for the remainder of your apprenticeship. The apprenticeship is very rigorous, very thorough, academic education and work-based education. So you'll go to work for one of our signatory employers, and one day a week you'll leave work at usually lunchtime, and you'll come up to the apprenticeship, and you'll be in school from 1 to 7 p.m. The school is to be taken seriously. I've seen smart people not make it through the apprenticeship because they already knew the basic stuff that was being covered in first year, so they didn't develop good study habits. They didn't take it seriously, and then when they got the second year or third year, they didn't have those habits to fall back on of proper study techniques, and it didn't work out for them, unfortunately. So I highly recommend you take the school very seriously if you get in the apprenticeship, and do everything you can to get hundreds on everything. Don't go for a B, go for 100 on everything. You will go to school for 4 years on a calendar, but it's 5 academic years. So you'll have 10 semesters of apprenticeship school. And then when you're done with the school, once you also have 8,000 on the job hours, you become a journeyman in the local. That's the way I did it. That was the traditional way to become a journeyman in any IBEW local. We also have the option of the CWCE program. The CWCE program is different. There's no aptitude test. There's no high school transcripts necessary. None of that. It's you apply and you get in, and you go to work. We have training available to you. All that training is free. It's not nearly as academically rigorous as apprenticeship training, but it will train you to become a journeyman. The CW program takes more time, and it starts out at a lower rate of pay. So the entry level for a CW1 zero experience right now is $12 and change. So if you're flipping burgers yesterday, you come over here today as a CW1, $12 and change plus benefits. So you, your spouse, dependent children have free health care, and you're building a retirement even at the CW1 level. CW raises are annual. So you'll get a raise after a year, and then another raise after another year. And I should say that's actually based on 2,000 hours of work, not necessarily annual. So if you're working overtime, it'll come a little quicker. And if you're not getting 40 hours a week for whatever reason, it'll come a little slower. So there's 4 CW levels, and then a CW4. Once you complete that, you transfer into our CE program. CEs, there's 3 levels, and it's again annual raises. CE1 is $19 an hour, CE2 is $20.53, I believe, and CE3 is $25.34 an hour. And then when you're done with the CW program and the CE program, you could take a journeyman's test. If you pass that test, you become a journeyman. So you see it's 2 parallel paths, both going to journeyman. Both of them include classroom education. The CWCE path, if you did the math as I was mentioning it, is 7 years minimum. The apprenticeship program is 4 years minimum. They both end in the same place, and it's just kind of 2 different things that are available to 2 different styles of people. If you don't do well in an academic environment, there's no sense in sugarcoating it. Maybe the apprenticeship isn't the place for you, but we have another path forward for you that includes full benefits. It includes decent wages, especially once you get into it, they become very good wages, and advancement to journeyman the whole way. If you have any questions about the CW program, the CE program, the apprenticeship, if you want to apply, if you know someone who would be interested, please go to rjatc.org, or you can contact me. And as always, if you have more than 4 years experience and you're ready to get out there, take the journeyman's test, or start working as a CE, contact me today and we'll make it happen.